What's going on, y'all? It's JD Pickell with On 3. Today on the Hard Count, we're going to be breaking down the new offense and defense for the Miami Hurricanes. Welcome into the Hard Count, the people show for every single thing that you know and that you love about college football. It happens here on a nearly daily basis. Nick Brake is doing the heavy lifting. You can help drive the show at my Twitter page, at JD Pickell. Now, the Miami Hurricanes have had a lot swirling around, no pun intended, this offseason in Coral Gables. New coaching staff, new offensive coordinator, and new defensive coordinator. So we're just going to jump into some of the basic principles that you can expect from your Hurricanes. We're not going to do anything like chalking it up or drop any video on you, get too in the weeds. We're going to make this really digestible and just talk ball, you and me, all right? So the first thing, the offense. Josh Gattis coming over from Michigan. The offense at Michigan was really good last year. They were like number 14 in the country in terms of points scored a game at 36. They're going to score points. And if you watched Michigan last year, you're thinking, oh no, we're just going to run the ball, just doggedly run the ball every single play. And they ran the ball a lot last year, yes, but a lot of that was in part because of what Josh Gattis had in that running back room. Blake Corum and Hassan Haskins, two guys that could go and did a great job carrying Michigan, carried them all the way to the college football playoff and to a Big Ten title. So I think the emphasis here is that they want to own the trenches, yes, but even more so, they're going to take advantage of the playmakers they have. One thing I noticed when watching Josh Gattis' offense a season ago, he did a great job calling different run plays for different backs. Not to get too in the weeds with Michigan, but Blake Corum is a little bit more of a jittery back, more of a jitterbug, if you will. And so they called a lot of inside zone for him, allowed him to make guys miss in space. Hassan Haskins, he's a big boy. They say, okay, we're going to pull a guard and we're going to let you follow him and run a power play. Try and tackle him. So all that's to say, they're going to call this offense, one, to establish the trenches, two, to cater to their players. So Jalen Knighton, the running back from Miami, he's going to make sure that he is very much aligned with Josh Gattis and his vision for the offense. They're going to play to the strengths of their playmakers. In addition to that, one of the key principles for Josh Gattis is getting speed in space. It's kind of a cliche. It's kind of coach speak. What that really comes down to is getting fast guys in matchups. One great example of this that I noticed when watching them a year ago was Donovan Edwards, the running back, a freshman running back from Michigan. They did a lot with him in the pass game. You say, well, why do they do that? He's a running back, not a receiver. Well, one, he had good hands, going back to the catering to your player's skill set. And then in addition to that, they were able to get matchups with him. He was a mismatch every single time you had him on a linebacker. So much so that he had 20 receptions on the year. There was a game against Maryland where he had 10 catches for 170 yards. Folks, if that doesn't scream speed in space and creating matchups, I don't know what does. Another way that they did this last year was getting their trips formation. What is a trips formation? Essentially, you have three receivers lined up together on one side, and that just allows for more confusion for the defensive backs. It just kind of creates more matchups, if you will. I'm not going to get too much into that, but that's essentially what it does, creates more probability for matchups for your receivers. So, in summary, for the offense, you're going to establish the trenches, not at a detriment to your personnel, but you're going to establish the trenches running the football, and then you're going to create speed in space. Ultimately, you are catering to your playmakers' abilities. So Tyler Van Dyke, he's still going to be able to air it out. Don't worry, they're not going to put his arm on the shelf and just have him hand the ball off. They're still going to try and create explosive plays. I think it will look a little bit different than it did at Michigan for Josh Gattis in this offense, strictly because of personnel. So that's that. The defense for Miami is something that a lot of people should be excited about. They're running a 4-2-5 defense. Anytime you're throwing out numbers describing personnel and stuff, that kind of feels daunting. A 4-2-5 defense just means you have four down linemen, four defensive linemen, so four big boys up front. You got two linebackers, so kind of your combos, your still big boys. And then you have five defensive backs. That's important because those five defensive backs are typically fast guys. So with so many fast guys on the field, it's an answer to what a lot of people are doing in college football right now with the spread offense. So when you have five fast guys, you're able to run sideline to sideline. If they want to throw the ball horizontally and get those bubble screens going, Miami is in principle, going to have the guys on the field to chase down those playmakers, if you will, chase down the offensive fast guys. So you're getting a lot of speed on the field. So that's first. The other advantage to a 4-2-5 defense is with 5 defensive backs, in theory, you keep a lot of the offense in front of you. Essentially, you're going to allow for more underneath routes. Like, they might allow for the crossing route, they might allow for the check down, but you're not going to give up the big play. You are trying to mitigate the big play by allowing for more underneath. So the bet there is that eventually you're going to be able to jump one of those routes, and then the other bet is that the offense is going to get impatient. They're going to get tired of taking 3 yards, dump it off. Quarterbacks are greedy. All right, they're people just like you and me. They're greedy. They get caught with their hand in the cookie jar. And so when they do go deep, you're going to have more defensive backs back there to try and make a play on that football. Now, the key ingredient for making this defense work is personnel. So they're going to try and recruit in the future big, fast DBs, because this defense also has to be able to account for the run game. Like, you have to be able to fill in run support. And so those safeties are going to have to be able to come up and tackle. So that's something you have to watch for Miami. So as a whole, speed, and more speed is a theme on offense and on defense. On offense, establish the trenches, get speed and space. On defense, don't let up the big play and allow your fast guys to go track down other fast guys. As a whole, if they can get the personnel right on defense and cater to the personnel on offense, there's a chance for some really good things to happen at the U. That's it for us here on The Hard Count. Appreciate you tuning in. Comment what you want to see. A lot of what we do here is audience driven, so if you tell us you like something, there's a really good chance we're going to do more of it. We're going to keep the party rolling. We will see y'all next time. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.